පාරමිතා බලේන වින්ද්වන්සියෝ කිල කිලේස සමෝහජාලං සේනේව ලන්ද අරහං අරහෝති නාමං වන්දාමි බුද්ධ මමලං හදයේ ටපෙත්වා. Okay, first of all we are going to pay our homage to the Buddha, and next we are going to get the refuge with the triple gem, and also we observe 5 precepts too. First of all we say Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Homage to the Exalted One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. 3 refuge. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dhamma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. For the second time, I go to the Buddha for refuge. For the second time, I go to the Dhamma for refuge. For the second time, I go to the Sangha for refuge. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. For the third time, I go to the Buddha for refuge. For the third time, I go to the Dhamma for refuge. For the third time, I go to the Sangha for refuge. 5 precepts, Panchasila. Please repeat after me. Pānātipātā vēramaṇī sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
Pānātipātā vēramaṇī sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
I undertake the training rule to abstain from taking life. Adinnaḥadānā vēramaṇī sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
Adinnaḥadānā vēramaṇī sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
I undertake the training rule to abstain from stealing. Kāmesu miccācārā vēramaṇī sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
Kāmesu miccācārā vēramaṇī sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
I undertake the training rule to abstain from sexual misconduct. Musāvādā vēramaṇī sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
Musāvādā vēramaṇī sikkhapadam samādhiyāmi.
I undertake the training tool to abstain from false speech. Surameraya majjapama dattana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
I undertake the training tool to abstain from intoxicating drinks and drugs causing heedlessness. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good afternoon, everyone. Venerable Sirs, Bhantes, friends in the Dhamma. First of all, I warmly welcome all of you with the blessings of the Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha to the Leicester Buddhist Vihara here on behalf of Bhantes and other devotees. Dear friends in the Dhamma, here today we are going to listen to Buddha's message and also we are going to practice the Dhamma, what the Supreme Buddha explained. I think for a long time you have been listening to Dhamma and practicing Dhamma. Actually, I am so happy to meet you again. I think after 6 years, I meet you again. When I was here and you helped me a lot, you took care of me very well. I always remember that wonderful memories and I am so happy to meet you again after a long time. First of all, I would like to convey my gratitude to the Bhante, Sadhananda and other monks here for inviting me to this Dhamma discussion. And also in this discussion, we hope to discuss Buddha's message in short. At the same time, we are going to practice some meditation techniques in this session. When we see the Buddha's message, it is very clear that Buddha explained the path of happiness, the path of purification. The Buddha says very clearly his message in short, 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃, purifying one's mind. That is the main advice in Buddhism. Everyone likes to purify their mind. Why do we need to purify our mind? Whenever our mind is polluted with negative thoughts, actually we have no happiness. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone. Buddhism completely explains the path of happiness. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone. When we listen to Dhamma, when we practice Dhamma, gradually we purify our mind from negative thoughts. Here we should understand the negative thoughts, unwholesome mental states that disturb our peace of mind. All the negativities that disturb our peace of mind can be summarized into 3. They are lobha or craving, dosa, anger, and moha, ignorance or delusion. These are the negativities, unwholesome mental states that disturb our peace of mind. Buddhism says mind is the most important thing in our life. In Dhammapada it says, Mano pubbangama dhamma, mano settha manomaya. Mind is the forerunner. Mind is chief. Mind made dade. Manasache pasannena bhasati va karoti va. If someone does something physically or verbally with a wicked mind, suffering follows him because of impure mind. And also, if someone does something with a pure mind, happiness follows him because of pure mind. This is the very first understanding that we gain through listening to Dhamma. If we know this understanding, if we know this message, we know very well how suffering arises and also how happiness arises. Whenever our mind is polluted with negative thoughts, we are suffering. And also whenever we have purified our mind, it means we are happy. Nobody likes suffering. Everyone likes happiness. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone. If we can trust in this message, we always keep our mind in pure and calm. And also always we try to purify our mind from negative thoughts. Not only that, on the other side, we develop positive thoughts in our mind. Negative thoughts we discuss, and also what are the positive thoughts that we develop. There are some positive thoughts such as generosity, loving kindness, energy, confidence, mindfulness, finally wisdom. These are the positive thoughts that help us to develop our inner happiness. If we want to develop these positive thoughts, we have to listen to Dhamma very clearly, and also we should practice this Dhamma in our day-to-day life. Practicing Dhamma is in our day-to-day life. We listening to Dhamma and also we apply that Dhamma to our life in our day-to-day life. That is the thing that we are doing here. Especially Buddhism says when we listen to Dhamma, that is also a place where we purify our mind. We usually think that first of all we listen to Dhamma, later we will practice. Actually that is not correct. While we are listening to Dhamma, if we have good attention, there also we can practice Dhamma. While we are listening Dhamma, we are able to purify our mind at this moment. That is very important. Here, the very first understanding that we should have, which is Sammaditthi or right understanding. Right understanding is very important. According to Buddhism, our spiritual path, our practice depends on Sammaditthi or right understanding. I think you know the Noble Eightfold Path. The very first one is Sammaditthi or right understanding. How do we develop our right understanding? When we are going to improve our right understanding, in one side, we have to listen to Dhamma. On the other side, we should develop wise consideration or yoniso manasikara. These techniques are very important to develop our right understanding. Right understanding is very first thing. It says in Buddhism as Sammaditthi or Ditthi Sampada, the accomplishment of right view. That is very important. Here, according to Dhamma, when we listen to Dhamma, we know the way how suffering arises and how happiness arises. Whenever our mind is impure, suffering follows us. Whenever our mind is pure and calm, we have happiness. We are happy. This is the very first understanding that we receive through listening to Dhamma. As the result of this understanding, we come to our practice, which is we develop, we cultivate the three meritorious deeds. According to Dhamma, in our day-to-day life, we practice three meritorious deeds. They are Dana or generosity, and Sila, virtue, and Bhavana or meditation. These three things we practice in our day-to-day life in order to develop our spirituality. These three activities help us to purify our mind. When we practice generosity, our mind is so pure and calm. If we have a generous heart, our mind is very pure and calm. It means we are very happy. Dhamma says, Pīti mudarang vindati dātā. He who has a generous heart gains a lot of happiness. That is why in the very first step, we practice generosity. When you are at home, you can practice generosity. How do we practice generosity at home? If you have children, you can give food or other things for your children very kindly with a generous heart. That is also a meritorious act. Even though you are doing a duty, actually that is not just a duty but a meritorious act. And also if you have parents, you can take care of them very well. That is also a generosity. If you have pets at home, you can take care of them very kindly, feeding them with some food or other things. That is also a place where we can practice generosity. As the result of practicing generosity, we can purify our mind. That is the very first step of generosity. Not only that, we can practice generosity in another way, which is 𝐓𝐢𝐩𝐻𝑒𝐻𝑒𝑑āna. 𝐓𝐢𝐩𝐻𝑒𝐻𝑒𝑑āna means giving fearlessness or saving others' lives. That is also very important, 𝐓𝐢𝐩𝑒𝐻𝑒𝑑āna. And also Dhammagāru. Dhammagāru means the gift of Dhamma. We explain the Dhamma, we offer some Dhamma books, and also if we can preach Dhamma, that is also a place where we practice generosity. Dhammagāru is very important, the gift of Dhamma. Buddha says, Sabbadānaṁ Dhammādānaṁ jināti. Mr. Paul, I think you have heard it.
The gift of Dhamma is the best of all.
Yes, very good. You can remember it. The gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. Sabbadānaṁ Dhammādānaṁ jināti. That is very important. You know, Buddha says, he who gives the Dhamma gives everything. Why is that? If you give some food for someone, it is beneficial for several days. If you give a cloth for someone, it is beneficial for several years. But if you can help someone with the Dhamma, it is beneficial to them for their entire life. Not only this life, it helps them to go to the higher realms in their sansaric journey. That is why the gift of Dhamma is highly appreciated in Buddhism. We can practice generosity in these three ways: āmisadāna, ābhedāna, and Dhammagāru. Material givings, given fearlessness, and the gift of Dhamma. In these three ways that we can practice generosity, as the result of practicing these three things, we are able to purify our mind. The more we practice generosity, the more we purify our mind. The more we purify our mind, the more we are happier. Not only that, there is a very special benefit that we receive through practicing generosity. Buddhism says, Dadang mitthāni gantati. He who practices generosity makes a lot of friends. Practicing generosity is the way to make friends. If you want to make friends, if you want to win your friends, you have to practice generosity. If you are very greedy, your friends don't like you. If you are so generous, if you have a generous heart, your friends and relatives like you because of your generosity. As a result of practicing generosity, we are able to meet a lot of good friends, spiritual friends who explains the Buddha's message. That is also a very important thing. When we refer some doctrines in Buddhism, it is very clear that practicing generosity is the way how to make good friends, spiritual friends, noble association. That is very important. Here, as the very first meritorious act, we practice generosity. Not only we practice generosity, there is another technique that we have to develop, which is the 𝒮𝓾 bhavana. What is 𝒮𝓾? The contemplation of generosity. That is a meditation technique in Buddhist meditation. After we practice generosity, we should think it again and again. 𝒮𝓾 ℒ𝒶𝓃. After we fulfill our generosity, we should think it again and again as a meditation technique. That is very important. That helps us to purify our mind. You usually practice generosity, but after that you usually don't think it. But Buddhism advises us to think it again and again. You have taken care of your parents. You have offered a lot of things for innocent people. You have donated your blood or something. If you think your donations and generosities again and again, keeping your mind in the present moment with mindfulness, that helps us to purify our mind, and also that contemplation helps us to concentrate our mind. That is very important. That is a meditation technique which is 𝒮𝓾, the contemplation of generosity. It belongs to the 40 concentration meditation techniques in Buddhism. That is very important. The second meritorious act is that 𝒮𝓃 or virtue. Discipline in our speech and behavior. When we speak something, when we do something, when we behave, we think again and again whether it is correct. Before we do something, verbally, physically, or mentally, we think again and again wisely whether it is correct. That is very important. Especially Buddhism explains that the importance of practicing 5 precepts. In our regular life, in our day-to-day life, we practice 5 precepts. That helps us to develop our inner peace, our spiritual life. What are the 5 precepts? The very first one is abstaining from taking life. And the second one is abstaining from stealing, and abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from false speech, and fifth one, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs causing heedlessness. When we practice these 5 things, we are happy about our character. We have no regrets. We have no guilt in our life since our character is very correct and pure. Not only that, the friends and relatives who are around us, they appreciate us. We are honored by them. We are appreciated by our relatives and friends if we can practice these 5 qualities, especially in our family life. In your family life, if you are able to practice these 5 things, you are respectful persons. You are respected in your family life when you practice these 5 qualities in your day-to-day life. And also, while we are practicing these 5 qualities, we think again and again, I am a person who practices these 5 qualities. We concentrate it again and again. We contemplate on it again and again that I am practicing 5 precepts in my day-to-day life. As the result of practicing these qualities, we practice virtue or moral conduct, 𝒮𝓃, as a meditation technique. that says in Buddhism as 𝒮𝓃 the contemplation of virtue or moral conduct. That belongs to the Samatha Bhavana in Buddhism. 𝒮𝓃 the contemplation of sila or virtue, discipline in our speech and behavior. Sila or virtue is the second meritorious act that helps us to purify our mind. And also the third one, meditation or bhavana, mental culture, that directly helps us to purify our mind. The very first meritorious act is that practicing generosity. The second one, virtue or moral conduct, discipline in our speech and behavior. And also the third one, what is the third one? Bhavana or meditation, mental culture. Especially, Buddhism always encourages us to practice metta bhavana, loving kindness meditation. The Supreme Buddha says, he who wishes to attain the peace of mind should practice loving kindness meditation. Yantang santang padang abhisamecha sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. He who wishes to attain the peace of mind should practice loving kindness meditation again and again. What is the loving kindness meditation? We recollect on that may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. We contemplate on it again and again. May my relatives, may my neighbors, may the people who are in my city, may the people who are in this country, all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Again and again, we spread loving kindness thoughts to the people who are in this world. As the result of practicing loving kindness meditation, our mind is so pure and calm. Anger gradually reduces as the result of practicing loving kindness meditation. Practicing loving kindness meditation is highly appreciated and recommended in Buddhist doctrines in order to overcome anger. You know, anger is one of the main reasons that disturbs our peace of mind. Whenever we are angry, actually we have no inner peace. Even though we are well educated, although we are very rich, if we are angry with some negativities, actually we have no inner peace. That is why Buddhism always encourages us to practice loving kindness meditation. Here, first of all, we hope to practice loving kindness meditation for 10 minutes as a meditation technique. Contemplating on thus, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Okay, I think that is a very common meditation technique that you usually practice. You are so familiar with metta bhavana. Here, we are going to practice that meditation technique for our inner peace, spiritual happiness. For that, please get ready. Relax your body, please. Please be aware of your body posture that you are sitting here. Please have a deep breath in. Hold few seconds. Breathe out slowly and mindfully. Again, please have a take breath in. Hold few seconds. Breathe out slowly. Relax your body, please. Again, please be aware of your body posture that you are sitting in this hall. Okay, please keep your attention around the nose or upper lip. At the same time, I am mindful in the present moment. And also now I am going to practice loving kindness meditation, Metta Bhavana. May all beings in this hall be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in this hall be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in this city be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in this city be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in this country be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in this country be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in this planet, the earth, be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in this planet, the earth, be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in the solar system be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in the solar system be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in this galaxy be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in this galaxy be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in this universe be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in this universe be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. I see it all over the world like my family, like my children. I am friendly with everyone in this universe. I see it all over the world like my family, like my children. There are no boundaries, no limits in this world. I see the entire world like a family, like my children. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. My mind is so pure and calm with loving kindness thoughts. My mind is filled with loving kindness and compassion. Dukkhaṃ pantāca niddukkhaṃ Bhayaṃ pantāca nibbhayaṃ Sokaṃ pantāca nissokaṃ Hontu sabbe pipānino. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May all of them attain the supreme bliss of liberation. With that intention, now I open my eyes gently and mindfully. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, dear friends in the Dhamma, here firstly we practice Metta Bhavana. This loving kindness meditation is specially explained by the Supreme Buddha for our inner peace. In our day-to-day life, this is very beneficial for a successful life. And also this meditation technique helps us to develop our spirituality. According to Buddhism, Metta Bhavana is the most valuable meritorious act that helps us to develop our spirituality, our good karma, positive energy. What is the reason? The reason is that when we practice loving kindness meditation, Metta Bhavana, at that moment our mind has no greed, no anger, no jealousy, no conceit. If we can see everyone like our children, at that moment our mind has no jealousy, no conceit, no anger, no greed. When you are near your children, are you greedy? No. You are not jealous at that moment. You are not angry with them. Your mind is so pure and calm when you are near your only son or daughter. Your mind is like a flower at this moment. Buddhism always encourages us to keep our mind like a very beautiful flower with good smell and beauty. We should keep our mind like a flower. It means our life is like a flower. If we want to see the beauty of our life, beauty of our mind, actually we should practice Metta Bhavana, loving kindness meditation. Whenever we practice loving kindness meditation, our mind is in the higher realm, in the Brahma realm. Since that is one of the four sublime states, divine beings, Brahmas in the higher realm, they are living with these four things, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. Loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. These are the four sublime states that the Brahmas are dwelling with in the Brahma realm. Buddhism explains the path how we make a Brahma world in this human life. Having human physical body physically, if we practice Metta Bhavana, mentally we are in the Brahma realm. This is the way how we make a Brahma world, Brahma realm in this immediate human life. That is very important. Dhamma friends, next we are going to practice the 𝒮𝓾 the contemplation of generosity. In this life, several times, many times you have practiced generosity. You can think one of them. Sometimes you have offered, you have donated your blood for someone. You have taken care of your parents. You have helped some innocent people. You can think one of the very remarkable activity that you have practiced as generosity. When you contemplate on it again and again, Actually, that is a meditation technique which is 𝒮𝓾 ℒ𝒶𝓃, the contemplation of generosity. That is a meditation technique that helps us to purify our mind. When we think it again and again, I have practiced generosity in this way, you can imagine that incident, that event, that place again and again. I have offered something to someone with that I earned very hard, and when you think it again and again, your mind is very pure and calm. This meditation technique is used very rarely, but here we are going to practice the 𝒮𝓾 ℒ𝒶𝓃, the contemplation of generosity. Is it clear? Mr. Will, have you practiced 𝒮𝓾 ℒ𝒶𝓃?
Not as a meditation, no.
Yes, actually that is one of the meditation techniques among the 40 meditation techniques in Samatha. That is very important. That we used very rarely. However, it is very important to practice in our day-to-day life. You usually practice generosity, but we don't think it again and again. When we contemplate on our generosity again and again, it helps us to concentrate our mind in the present moment. It helps us to purify our mind. Here now we are going to practice the 𝒮𝓾 ℒ𝒶𝓃 Bhavana. Keeping our attention in the present moment with mindfulness, we think again and again our generous mind, generous heart. Buddha says, 𝒮𝓇 ℒ𝒃 ℒ𝒃 ℮𝑑𝑎𝑡𝑎. He who has a generous heart gains a lot of happiness. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone. When we think about our generous mind, we are so happy since our mind is so pure and calm at that moment. Friends in the Dhamma, let's ready to practice 𝒮𝓾 ℒ𝒶𝓃, the contemplation of generosity. Relax your body. Close your eyes gently if you are comfortable. Please be aware of your body posture that you are sitting here. Relax your body please again. And keep your mind around the nose or upper lip. At the same time, now we are going to contemplate on our generous minds. You can think about your generosity that you have already practiced. You can remember a very special moment, event, or incident that you have practiced generosity or offer something to someone. Sometimes you have donated your blood to some patient. You have taken care of your parents with some food, clothes and medicine. You have offered some dana to the Mahasangha, monks. You have offered some special things and foods to the Supreme Buddha, contemplating on his noble qualities. You have offered very special meditation kuti or rooms to the Mahasangha. Now you can think one of very special thing in your life. I have a very generous heart, generous mind. I am always generous. I have already washed my hands in order to offer something to every moment. I am very happy recollecting on my generous activities. I am contemplating on my generous mind. I always practice generosity, offering something to someone, every moment, everywhere. When I think about my generous mind, my mind is so pure and calm. I am so happy. Many times, many years, I have been practicing generosity in my life. I am contemplating on my generous mind. I am always ready to offer something to someone. I am happy to help someone who are needing something. 𝒮𝓇𝒾 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓀𝒃 दाता 𝒮𝓇𝒾 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓀𝒃 दाता 𝒮𝓇𝒾 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓀𝒃 दाता. He who has a generous heart gains a lot of happiness. I contemplate on my generous mind that helps us to purify my mind. That contemplation helps me to concentrate my mind. I always try to continue this my generous mind for the benefits of many people in this world. With that intention, now I open my eyes gently and mindfully. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, dear friends in the Dhamma, the Buddha's message always helps us to purify our mind. We do everything in our life for our happiness. From morning to night, from birth to death, everywhere, every moment, In every age, we do everything for our happiness. But unfortunately, day by day we go away from happiness. Sometimes we are very happy, but especially when our body is going to old age, sicknesses, reaching death, gradually we lost our happiness. In this world, Buddha has explained the path how we continuously develop our spiritual happiness. By practicing Dhamma, by purifying our mind, we can continuously develop our inner peace, happiness, spirituality. As the result of this practice, day by day, we can develop our happiness until we die. The most happiest day in our life is that the day we will die. Why is that? Because of our purification of minds, we are very happy, and also after we pass away, we are sure that we will receive a very new, luxurious life. As soon as we leave this physical body, we are ready to go to a new life with a new, luxurious life. That is why we are very happy. Buddhism says how we develop our happiness and the nature of our happiness. Buddhism explains that sabbang paravasan dukkhang, sabbang issaryan sukham. If something that we are happy is in outside, that happiness will end with suffering. If our happiness depends on the outside material world of persons, it means our happiness will end with suffering. Why is that? Those material things, day by day, they are changing. They are decay. They are going to old age, sicknesses, and finally death. When we leave them, we are suffering. Even we trust in our physical body. When our body is going to old age, what happens to us? Does our happiness increase? No, we are worried since our physical body is gradually going to old age, sickness, and death. Having this physical body, if we are able to develop our mind, purifying our mind with positive thoughts, that helps us to develop our inner peace, happiness. Buddha says, sabbang attavasan sukhang. If there is something which can be controlled by ourselves within us as our spirituality, that helps us to develop our happiness. In this situation, we understand the real happiness. If we can think our mind and our spirituality, that definitely helps us to develop our happiness. About our generosity, about our virtuous life, about our metta thoughts, if we can think, at that moment our mind is so pure and calm. That pure mind helps us to develop our happiness. Here always we focus on our mind, we take care of our mind. Here it is very important to understand the nature of our mind. We keep our attention in the present moment, always we take care of our mind. We are aware of that. What happens to my mind at the moment, whether it is pure or unpure, whether it is lustful or not, whether it is angry or not. Always we are aware of our mind. When we are aware of our mind, If our mind has negative thoughts, immediately those negative thoughts go away. When our mind is filled with positive thoughts, when we are aware of that, those positive thoughts gradually develop, that helps us to develop our spiritual happiness. Here, always we understand the path of happiness. Especially here we find firstly Samatha Bhavana, the concentration meditation techniques. According to Buddhism, in one side we practice Samatha Bhavana or concentration meditation. On the other side, we practice insight meditation. The purpose of practicing concentration meditation is to eradicate 5 hindrances. The purpose of practicing insight meditation is to reduce ignorance or delusion. I think you can remember. What is the purpose of practicing concentration meditation? The purpose of practicing concentration meditation is to reduce 5 hindrances: sensual pleasure, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry, and skeptical doubts. These are the negativities, unwholesome mental states, 5 hindrances that disturb our peace of mind. If we have these negativities in our minds, actually we have no inner peace. As the result of producing these negativities from our mind based on Samatha Bhavana, the concentration meditation, we are able to develop some positive thoughts, the facts of jhana, vitakka, vichara, and piti, sukha, ekaggata. These are the jhana anga, the facts of jhana. There we can see one of them is piti, rapture or happiness. Directly we can focus on rapture or happiness as the result of producing hindrances from our mind based on Samatha Bhavana or concentration meditation. As the result of practicing meditation, especially Samatha Bhavana, the concentration meditation, we are able to reduce these negative thoughts, especially greed and anger, the most powerful negative thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. That is the main purpose of practicing Samatha Bhavana. As a result of concentrating our mind in the present moment, we can see the beauty of our mind. If we can see the beauty of our mind, it means we can see the beauty of our life. We usually find the beauty of the outside world, the material world. Actually, that outside beauty depends on our perception. That beauty is not in the outside world. For an example, if you have a friend who is very beautiful, you are friendly with him or her, you are happy about that person. One day if that person blames you, what happens to you? Then do you see the beauty of the outside? Actually at that moment, beauty is not outside, then you are angry with that person. The beauty in the outside world depends on our perception. That beauty is different from person to person. If that beauty is permanent, it is common to everyone. Actually, that is not like that. That beauty depends on our perception. That outside material world beauty depends on our senses, Our senses depends on our perception. Our perception depends on our vision. According to our vision, the perception of sanya changes. According to perception, our senses immediately changes. According to our changes, we experience the material world. That is the reality. If we are able to change our perception, we can change all over the world. When we go to the deeper level doctrines in Buddhism, it is very clear. According to our perception, we can change the entire world. That is the highest benefit of practicing mindfulness based on mindfulness. Until we go to the final destination on the way of purification of our mind, we can find a lot of places that helps us to develop our happiness, especially by practicing samatha bhavana or concentration meditation techniques. We can develop our spiritual happiness. That happiness cannot be stolen by anyone. Nobody can disturb our spiritual happiness. If someone can disturb our peace of mind, actually we are not successful. Our success depends on our spirituality. Buddha says, let's live happily without anger among the people those who are angry. Let's live happily without anger among the people those who are angry. That is our success. If someone can make us angry, are we successful? No. The one who can make you angry will become your master. Since you are controlled by that person, you are a servant of him. Therefore, Buddhism explains the path how we make a very powerful mind, strong mind, that no one can make us angry. For that, we have to practice, especially loving kindness meditation again and again. Again, Buddha says, let's live happily without mental illnesses among the people those who are mentally ill. 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃 ℚ𝒨𝒂 ℚ manussyesu viharamanātura. Let's live happily without mental illnesses, mental disorders among the people who have mental disorders. That is our success. And also Buddhism says, let's live happily without greed among the people those who are greedy. That is our success. Our success depends on our happiness. Our happiness depends on purification of our mind. In the mundane level, Buddhism explains the path how we make a very pure mind by practicing generosity, by practicing virtue or sila, by practicing concentration and meditation techniques. We are able to make a pure mind. That pure mind gains us happiness. That pure mind helps us to develop our spirituality. Therefore, especially we should give the priority for our spiritual life. Especially, we should practice meditation as much as we can. The very important thing, there are some qualities of the Dhamma. 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃 ℒ𝒏. Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One. 𝒪𝑛දිට්ඨිකෝ, visible results. 𝒪𝑐𝑎ලිකෝ, immediately effective. 𝐴හිපස්සිකෝ, calling one to come and see. 𝒂𝐡𝐚𝐼𝐸𝐸, leading onwards, 𝒮𝓃 ℮𝒾 and to be personally realized by the wise. These are the characteristics or qualities of the Dhamma. Here especially we can see some qualities, 𝒮𝓃𝒾 ℒ𝒶𝓃. I think Mr. Paul, you know the meaning? Yes, 𝒮𝓃𝒾, visible results. And ℒ𝒶𝓃?
Current, here and now.
Yes,
Visible.
we can see the results immediately when we practice Dhamma.
Timeless.
Yes, timeless, very good. As the result of practicing this Dhamma, we can see the results in this immediate life. You know, this is the saddha of confidence. What is the confidence? Confidence means the confidence in what the Buddha taught. 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃 ℒ𝒃, the confidence in what the Buddha taught. Here, especially we should understand, if we do something in this life for happiness, practicing Dhamma is the best thing. When we do other things for our happiness, it takes time. Sometimes some days, weeks, months, sometimes for many years. But the very special thing is in Buddhism is that when we practice Dhamma, we can see the results immediately. That is the very important thing. When we practice Dhamma, we see the results. When we see the results, we are happier. When we are happier, we are more encouraged to go forward. As the result of this practice, we give the priority to practice Dhamma. It doesn't mean that we don't do other things. Actually, while we are doing our regular activities, duties and responsibilities, we give the priority to practice Dhamma. That is the very important thing. While we are living, while we are working, while we are doing our regular activities, day-to-day activities, we practice Dhamma. Practicing Dhamma is like breathing in and out. We don't spend more time in order to breathe in and out. While we are living, we are breathing in and out. Even though we are sleeping, we are breathing in and out. Practice Dhamma also like that. While we are living, while we are walking, working, doing our regular activities, we practice Dhamma. In one side, we practice generosity. On the other side, we always follow the 5 precepts, keeping loving kindness in our heart. And also, especially, we practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the highest doctrine in Buddhism, which directly helps us to eradicate the negative thoughts from our mind completely. Buddhism always encourages us to practice mindfulness, being aware of our body and mind. And also, at the same time, we can practice more samatha techniques such as Buddha-anusati, Dhamma-anusati, Sangha-anusati. These 3 meritorious deeds, 3 contemplations are very important. Buddha-anusati, Dhamma-anusati, Sangha-anusati. What is Buddha-anusati? The contemplation of the qualities of the Blessed One. Dhamma-anusati, the contemplation of Dhamma, the teachings of the Buddha. And Sangha-anusati, the contemplation of the noble ones, the disciples of the Buddha, noble disciples of the Buddha. Now we are going to recollect of the qualities of the Triple Gem as a meditation technique. I think you usually practice Buddha-anusati, Dhammanusati and Sanghanusati. Now also we are going to practice this meditation technique. Okay, first of all, we keep our mind in the present moment and we visualize the image of the Buddha. At the same time, we reflect on the qualities of the Blessed One who eradicated all defilements from his mind and also who developed his mind to the maximum level with great compassion and wisdom. Okay, please be aware of your body posture that you are sitting here. Being aware of our body posture is a meditation technique which belongs to 𝐾𝐻, the contemplation of body. Please keep your attention around the nose or upper lip in the present moment. At the same time, now I am going to contemplate on the qualities of the Blessed One, the Supreme Buddha. The Buddha developed his mind to the maximum level with great compassion and wisdom. I recollect the qualities of the Blessed One. The Supreme Buddha is in front of me. After he attained the Buddhahood, under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, Arahang worthy. Samma Sambuddho, supremely enlightened. Vidyacharana Sampanno, endowed with knowledge and conduct. Usgoda will go on. 𝒁𝐿okavidu, nor of the world. Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarathi, incomparable trainer of persons to be tamed. Sattha Deva Manussanam, the supreme teacher of deities and men. Buddha, enlightened. Bhagavan, exalted. I contemplate on these qualities of the Blessed one by one. When I think about the qualities of the Blessed One, my mind is so pure and calm. The Buddha is in my mind at that moment. Iti piso bhagava arahang. Such indeed the exalted one, worthy. Samma Sambuddho, supremely enlightened. Viñjācarana sampanno, endowed with knowledge and conduct. Sugato, well gone. Lokavidu, nor of the world. Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarathi, incomparable trainer of persons to be tamed. Sattha deva manussanam. The supreme teacher of deities and men. Buddho, enlightened. Bhagavan, exalted. These are the qualities of the Blessed One. When I recollect the qualities of the Supreme Buddha, my mind is so pure and calm. You can select one of the qualities of the Blessed One and think it again and again. Arahang, 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 When I contemplate on the qualities of the Blessed One, my mind is so pure and calm. I try to practice this meditation technique, which is Buddha Anusati, as much as I can. Practicing Dhamma is the path of happiness. The more I practice Dhamma, the more we are happier. Therefore, always I try to live in the Dhamma, with the Dhamma, by practicing Dhamma. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Friends in the Dhamma, here we listening to Dhamma and we practice several meditation techniques. Now if you have any question, you can ask. Yes, please.
The question I wanted to ask is, it's not exactly related to the meditations you've done, which are very good, and I practice them, but for older people who are getting pain or disability, they get pains in their arms or their shoulders, and they find it more difficult to do things. What advice can you give, and what is the relevance of Buddha Dhamma in those circumstances?
Yes, very good question. The very special thing, we can remember some good qualities that we have already practiced. In our young age, in our childhood, we have done a lot of good deeds. Sometimes we have practiced generosity. Sometimes we have practiced some good qualities, loving kindness, our good activities. We can imagine them, we can remember them again and again. At least everyone helps their parents. When we were doing some jobs, we may have helped many people. Then we can think those qualities again and again. Our good experience, our positive activities. When we think those qualities, we can purify our mind, we can develop our happiness. The main thing is that we should take care of our mind from negative thoughts, and also we keep our mind with the positive thoughts. That is the main thing. When we are going to old age, we can come back to our young age. The nature of our life is that our physical body, day by day, it is going to old age sicknesses. That is the nature of our life. Buddha says, having a physical body that goes to old age, you should make a mind that never goes to old age. Having a physical body that is subject to sicknesses, you should make a mind that never is subject to sickness. That is the purpose of Buddhist doctrines. Having a physical body, old age, if we can purify our mind, especially we should keep our mind in the present moment. That is the main thing. Keeping our mind in the present moment, if we can contemplate on our previous, in this life, good activities, that helps us to purify our mind. The other thing is that based on mindfulness, we can practice breathing meditation. That is very important. These techniques don't belong to any religious person. Without any religion, anyone can practice these techniques. Generosity, virtue, mindfulness, breathing meditation, Inside meditation, these techniques don't belong to any religious person. These techniques belong to the person who is seeking inner peace. If we need to attain the peace of mind, in one side we can practice as we practice here, the 𝒮𝓾 the contemplation of generosity. And also the second one, the contemplation of virtue. If you have practiced discipline in our speech and behavior, we can think it again and again. I have spent a virtuous life, then we can develop our happiness. And also especially, we can practice breathing meditation, mindful breathing in and out. Keeping our attention in the present moment, based on mindfulness, when we breathe in, we are aware of that, now I am breathing in. When we breathe out, we are aware of that, now I am breathing out. Again and again, when we practice breathing meditation, we train our mind to live in the present moment. It helps us to overcome the fear of future, the regrets of our life. It helps us to keep our mind in the present moment. Among the Buddhist doctrines, the most powerful technique is that breathing meditation, based on mindfulness. Mindfulness in breathing can be practiced by anyone, but we should practice it step by step. Sometimes, firstly we have to practice only 5 minutes, then 7 minutes. Little by little, we can gradually develop that period. And also, the other thing, while we are practicing breathing meditation, when we have physical pains, even though we have physical pains, when we concentrate our mind in breathing meditation, those physical pains gradually go down, since our spiritual happiness gradually develops. When our happiness based on the present moment gradually develops, even though we have physical pains, we don't feel them. And also, even though we feel some physical pains, at that moment we can practice Vedananupassana, the contemplation of feelings. Fourfold mindfulnesses?
Yes.
Yes, there we can see Kaya-anupassana, Veda-anupassana, Chitta-anupassana, Dhamma-anupassana, the contemplation of the physical body, the contemplation of feelings, the contemplation of consciousness or mind, the contemplation of mental formations. Among them, we can practice in one side Kaya-anupassana, on the other side Vedana-anupassana. When we practice breathing meditation, that belongs to Kaya-anupassana. And also when we are aware of our feelings or some painful experience in our physical body, we can keep our attention in the present moment, and also we can understand that pain is not permanent. Every moment that arises and ceases. That pain is not belong to actually me. It is a process. It is no soul. It is impermanent. Every moment that pain arises and ceases. We can contemplate on that netang mama neso hamasmi nameso atta. This pain doesn't belong to me. It is not me. It is not mine. In this way, we can practice Dhamma. On the other side, if we like, we can practice metta bhavana too. Especially when we focus on our mind with, pure thoughts, positive thoughts, practicing some meditation techniques, even though we have physical pains, they are gradually disappearing. They go down. Since our inner peace gradually develops.
Very, very helpful, thank you. So I
I've
take
got
this
carers coming in.
coming, yeah,
Okay.
but it's been very, I'm sure, very interesting for this lady who's never been to a Buddhist.
Okay, first time she
before,
came,
and
okay. Yeah,
I will
yeah.
remember that teaching, when I get different pains and so on.
Okay, thank you for your coming and your good attention. We really appreciate your participation.
Thank you.
Dukkam pantāca niddukkhaṃ bhayam pantāca nidbhayam sokam pantāca nissokam hontu sabbe pipānino. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation, emancipation, enlightenment, Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.